trying to get my thoughts on it?
Yes.
It's just business, man. It's just part of business, you know. Everybody is bought and sold in this league, you know, so anybody could be up for auction, you know what I mean? So I understand that. And it's just about getting back on the court, trying to go out there and play the game that I love, you know. That's a part of the business, though, man. We all got to understand that.
And Jay was talking about you being a pro and that you've heard it before throughout your career. Like, this is nothing new. But on the flip side, also it was out there that they were trying to trade you for Jimmy. So I'm asking, how do you feel about that?
I've been around noise before, where whole spotlight's on your team and people got so much to say about the group. Yeah, I've been through that before. And like I said, I understand the business, and that's what we all signed up for. And nobody's above the system, you know, as much as, you know, how much status I got and how much I've acquired in this league, you're still not above the business, and I always understood that. So it's about doing the best I can on the floor, man, and focusing on that, keeping the main thing. The business, that'll take care of itself.
Speaking of business, the other thing I had was, you know, moving forward with you know, you obviously you could have signed a 1-year extension. Now they were talking about a 2-year extension. Does all of this make you think differently about the organization moving forward?
No, I always had a goal of just playing my contract out and seeing what happens. I can't focus on a year and a half down the line. I try to focus on the day ahead of me, and I know that'll be a topic. That's probably the most frustrating part about being in trade talks, is that the microscope won't be on solely just me the rest of the season. And my body language, you know, how I speak to you guys after the games, you know, how I'm looking on the bench, that stuff would be magnified, which sucks. But like I said, that's a part of the business I got to just deal with and accept. But if I keep the main thing, then, you know, that could be the main focus. You know, we turn around and play well, people focus on that.
Kevin, for clarity's sake, so we can get back to basketball shortly after this, your relationship with the front office before the trade deadline as opposed to after the trade deadline, do you feel like it's still the same, or has it changed at all?
I always keep my relationships under wraps. You know, I don't think I should be speaking on our personal relationships out to the public. You know, I don't think that's fair to the people involved in that. So I'm out here to do my job and to do it the best as I can and support everybody in the building as much as I can, and that's always been my goal every time I step in here.
And you've seen this like Katie button sort of effect before,
Say what?
Right? You've seen this Katie button effect, as you've called it before. We're going into Monday of that week. Your name wasn't really out there at all, and then all of a sudden you were all over TVs all week.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a part of the game, you know, and it's a double-edged sword when you build yourself up to be this great and you do it for this long. You know, shit like that happens, you know. It's not a bad thing that people around the league want me to play for them. It's not a bad thing that my organization here is fighting off people to keep me on the team or even dangle me in trades. That's just, part of being a part of the high demand, you know, so I can understand that part of it. This is the most important thing, though, when that ball is bouncing and we're in here together as a unit, as a family. So I look forward to that every day.
How would you describe the current atmosphere vibe in the locker room? All that's been said in the past couple of days.
Yeah, I heard Ramona Shelburne come out and say our locker room is toxic. And I try to tell people who not around this game as much, is that it's easy to say our locker room is not connected when you come in there 45 minutes before and guys are in their game modes. We're not talking to each other. 4 or 5 guys might be in the training room. A few guys might be in the weight room. It's not a welcoming environment right before the game. You know what I'm saying? And that's just part of getting ready to play, you know? So I think it's unfair and lazy to categorize our team as toxic when you come in there for 5 minutes throughout 4 months. That's the only time you've been in our locker room. Then you can make a narrative. I don't think that's fair to us, but like I said, that's part of the game. It's part of the business we signed up for. Shit's not fair in this game, but we got to deal with it and accept it.
I think there was a report that you were blindsided that your name was out there. Is that accurate? Did you not see that coming?
I didn't see it coming, but the organization got to do what they got to do for the betterment of their organization. You know, even if I'm blindsided or not, it doesn't matter. It's just part of the business. You know what I'm saying? And as a player, you got to be prepared for anything. I've been traded before. I moved teams before. I got up and switch my whole situation up mid-season. So you got to be prepared for anything in this league. And, You know, so being blindsided doesn't even matter.
And obviously, you're a pro. You've been through this, but can you give
Let's
us
get this straight. I haven't been through this before, but I understand what's going on. You know.
Can you give us an idea, Kevin, what it's like to go through something like that and then have to come back and then act like just everything's fine again? That seems like that would be tough.
No, because my teammates, my coaches, they're not the ones that's having these conversations. It's usually the front office and the people that I don't really see as much as my teammates and coaches. So yeah, I can lock in on the task at hand and focus on the team and my coaching staff as much as I can, because that's the most important thing. And like I said, let the business take care of itself. And whoever called me and tell me I need to go, then I got to go. But if I can, like I said, I wanted to stay here and figure this thing out and see this thing through. So if I can get in the way of something like a trade, then why not? So like I said, like I've been saying, it's all a part of the game, and it's something that we got to accept and deal with and move forward. So if we got a game tomorrow, I try to focus on.
When you talk about people are going to analyze your body language and what you're doing sitting on the bench, is that something you've ever found yourself thinking about as you're on the bench? Like, is there a camera on me and what my face looks like?
Nah. I mean, I drive myself crazy, man. I mean, microscope been on me for a long time. People trying to find something. So I still got to be a human being and still react to stuff that I usually do. So I try not to think too much about it, but once again, that's a part of the game, and that's a part of it when you become this level of great, and you just got to deal with it.
James also said that none of this happens if you guys are playing up to your potential. How surprised are you, Kevin, just to kind of be where you guys are, just at 500 at this point of the year?
Yeah, I wish we could be playing better, and I know we could be better. But we still got 31 games to go that we can kind of turn this thing around. It's pretty bunched up in the Western Conference, so I feel like a lot of teams are still, playing on that level of trying to figure things out and get better as well. So that helps us a little bit. And so yeah, that's what happens when you're not winning games and you spend a lot of money on a team and you get a lot of scrutiny and criticism for what you're doing as a front office or ownership group. So yeah, somebody's gonna be up for discussions. That's just a part of the game. It's on us as players to go out there and change the minds of people making those decisions and get our fans behind us and following us and supporting us even more. So that's on the players.
Speaking of playing, obviously, you're much better when you're on the floor. You haven't played a few games out your ankle, so you've been getting off some pregame.
Yeah, I feel good. Looking forward to getting out there tomorrow, trying to help the team win and get back to doing something I love. It's terrible when you can't play. I think that was when I was able to get back to practice. I reflected a little bit in the last few days. I think I was more frustrated that I was injured and I couldn't play through the noise and the bullshit. And I had to sit and just listen to it, So usually your play can overshadow some of that stuff, but that's probably the most frustrating thing, so it's good to get back on the floor.
With getting back on the floor, what are your thoughts on the new guys, the new additions, and Boston and Cody, what they can bring?
Yeah, I always appreciated Cody's intensity and Vasa's just skill for the game. He's been in the league for only a couple years. Looking forward to adding them to the group and try to make it as comfortable as possible for them. I know Cody may be a little injured, I don't know for sure, but when he gets back on the floor, I just try to make the game as easy as we can for him and make that transition easy. So I'm looking forward to building with him as men and as teammates.
Did it amuse you that when you had the ankle injury, we very clearly saw it on the floor, that people further using that as speculation, or did that just not surprise you?
Yeah, people don't watch basketball games, so I kind of understood. Like I keep saying, man, it's just a part of the nature of the beast, man. People going to make shit up and create narratives and be biased and not use context. And I could cry all I want about that type of stuff, but nobody really cares at the end of the day. Life ain't fair, the game ain't fair. We just got to go out there and we make a decision to be in this life. If I ain't want to be here, I can just retire and quit and be well off, but this is life I chose.
You're a basketball savant, but also a hip-hop savant. Pride yourself on that. So what would you take seeing the halftime show yesterday with Kendrick doing Not Like Us?
It meant nothing to me.
You talked about Drake before as great. this scrum before in the past. So that's what I'm wondering, if you have any thoughts on what you.
No thoughts. I didn't really pay attention to it, to be honest. It was a pretty boring day. As for a Super Bowl, the game was a little. Yeah, the game got out of hand. The Super Bowl halftime show was just. I didn't pay attention to it. It was just kind of I kind of skimmed through the whole thing, to be honest.
Kevin, to your point about keeping the main thing, you've talked about how much you enjoy being in Phoenix. Does it bother you that there's this misconception about, moving forward, whether you're happy here and whether you're going to want out, that type of thing?
That's a little, like I would keep saying, it's just a part of the game, but if I want to talk in detail, yeah, that's a little frustrating that it's going to be in question, because I never even insinuated that I wanted to move teams. So, yeah, my happiness will be evaluated, but when it should be your front office's happiness that you should be monitoring every day, just because they make these decisions, So I get that I'm more visible than everybody, and I got the bigger name, and so everybody's going to try to understand what my feelings are like in this time, but it's more than just me that goes through this situation. There's a lot of people involved, so I guess you want to understand my feelings, but it should be a lot of other people's feelings that you should be trying to figure out too and see where their head's at. So it's more than just me, and that's how I feel. But even if they don't check in on everybody else that's involved and they only focus on me, that's just the game that I'm in. That's the life that I chose. I got to accept it.
Do you feel like you deserve the heads up?
I don't deserve nothing. I got to work to earn and get everything. I don't deserve anything. I don't expect anything from any person. I'm not entitled to anything. I just go out there and do my job, and if I'm compensated for doing my job, cool. If not, I move on. That's how I kind of look at stuff. So I don't expect nothing from nobody. I don't expect them or feel entitled that they owe me anything. So I just got to focus on my job.